Assalamu alaikum. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. Brothers and sisters, I greet you with the greetings of peace of Assalamu alaikum. I thank the Mosque for this opportunity to present to you and share with you ideas in which we can all benefit. We know that the world is in deep trouble. Nevertheless, there are positive solutions to all the difficulties that people are going through. And we thank Allah for granting us His grace and His mercy. For without Allah's grace and mercy, where will we be? Today's title that I have chosen to present is Realizing the Consequential Impact for Re-establishing Our True Identity. So in other words, we must realize consequences. And like everything in creation has a dualistic function, objective. That is, everything in creation can either have positive or negative outcomes. Perception is extremely important, how you perceive. Perceptions can be also positive or negative. As they say, some people would look at a glass half full, and their perception would be that the glass is half full. Whereas another person's perception is, they would look at it in the negative. They would perceive that glass as half empty. Many times we dwell on the negatives instead of focusing on the positives. We know through the teachings of Imam Mohammed, we know that he taught us that words are very important. Words. And he defined the word as anything that brings a message to our mind through our five senses. And we also was taught by him that we are products of the social and cultural environment. So in other words, we are made, we are created from the social and cultural environment. So what we perceive is based on a learning process. Either you can learn positivities or you can learn negativities. It's how you perceive. What do you take in? We know our mind is just like a magnet. It's going to record regardless of what we are aware of. Our mind is recording every second as we are in this room. Every sound, our ears is picking it up. Every visual that our eyes see, our eyes is registering that to our mind. Every sound, I just heard somebody's phone. So my ears pick that up. And so we have a magnificent brain. And it's up for us to protect that brain. It is a magnificent computer. If I was to ask right now, what is 6 times 7? Immediately, if you had processed that information into your computer, you brought up 69. Is that true? No, I'm in error. And so somebody corrected me with their brain. So immediately you was not thinking of the answer to what's 6 times 7, but immediately your brain was able to bring it up instantly. That's a magnificent computer. And we need to take care of it. We know that education is extremely important. But we have been shortchanged on what is education. We know the Honorable Elijah Mohammed had what we consider a 3rd grade academic education. But he was a giant when it came to economic empowerment and self-awareness. Those are 2 other forms of education. Economic intelligence, as well as being aware of who you are. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad was a giant with a 3rd grade academic education. So we know from that example that education is more and goes far beyond academics. But what we have perceived in this world is education is strictly academics. And we don't look at moral intelligence as extremely important. What about social stability? Is that a form of education? What about emotionality? Should we have control of our emotions? Is that a form of education? We already spoke of economic sovereignty. Many of our problems would be solved if we were economically intelligent. Many of our social and moral and emotional problems we solve if we were economically intelligent as a people. And so we're looking at the consequences, the impact for re-establishing our true identity. So in other words, do we really know who we are? What do we perceive of ourselves? Were we born in sin? Is that the perception that some of us still have? What is the impact? What are the consequences if a person accepts that they are born sinful? What if that's not true? But yet that person has accepted that. What is the impact on that person's life, throughout their life, if they have accepted a negativity as their origin? We know contrary to that, the Quran says that we were created in excellence. Excellence. A human being has the potential to be excellent. But if we make wrong decisions, because we have a tremendous amount of power, and that's the power of choice. We make decisions all the time. If we make ill-advised decisions, then with that power, we can become self-destructive. Because when we look at the duality again, our tongue can get us in a lot of trouble. What we say and how we say it can destroy a human being. And what we say and how we say it can build a human being, can improve upon a human being. And so we see that education is way beyond academics. And today we're talking about the true identity. What is our true identity versus the identity that we have accepted in this world? Having true information as it pertains to one's self-awareness or to one's knowledge of one's purpose, mission, objective, and one's ability to have insight to understand what should be our interests are that